now it is time to move on to the High Five sponsored honours board. And thank you again to High Five for this. Everybody who gets a shout out and an actual high five on the honours board will receive some goodies to help keep you fueled and hydrated through all of your training. And if we go crack on with the first one on the honours board, that actually came in from Poland. Hi, Paula and Chris. For years, I've cried every time I watch the marathon, yet I told myself that I couldn't do it because people like me don't run marathons. I thought it was only for superhumans. Well, that's not true. I've been running for years, never able to do more than 5k, and last November decided to take it seriously and got myself a coach. In April I ran my first half marathon and started to think about what was possible, and on Sunday, age 48, I ran my first marathon in Poznan, Poland, my home city, and it was incredible. I finished in 4 hours 34:16 and incorporated a lot of your tips that you share in the podcast. The dreaded wall never came, and the hardest part of it was walking down the stairs today. Always is, I'm afraid. You might have to go forwards or backwards down those stairs. Thank you so much for the inspiration, motivation and the brilliant tips. That's from Joanna, and congratulations, Joanna. That is brilliant that she managed to get through that, enjoy it so much as she did, and walking down the stairs will get easier the next few days.
Fantastic. And I think you've got another one on text, I believe.
I do have another one on the text, and this is actually a special one that's very close to my heart. So I don't know if I've mentioned the fact that I started out at Frodsham Harriers. That was my very first club, and my very first coach was a guy called George Bunner, and he actually invented Sports Hall Athletics. So he kind of developed the turnaround boards that Sports Hall Athletics uses, because we trained on a grass track, and in the winter we had to go inside a sports hall, and that was to help us do the longer running inside and be able to turn around easily every time we hit the wall at the end. So we bounce off those turnaround boards.
I know what you mean. So yeah, the angled things.
Yeah, they just lean against the wall, and you basically just put your foot on it and jump back and go back the other way. So this comes in from Matt Larkin, who is a member of Frodsham Harriers, and he said he's been happy to hear the mention of Frodsham Harriers on the podcast. He proudly wears the black and orange, which I might still have buried away somewhere, because I'm a bit weird like that in terms of keeping old club vests. My oldest son was lucky to train with George Bunner in his early years with a club that George had to step away from coaching, before George had to step away from coaching, and George was an ever-present elder statesman of that club at the famous, fabulous Sports Hall indoor athletic competitions that he helped to develop. So he is nominating George Bunner for the honours board. I'm not sure how we get the high five goodies to him. We might have to send them to you, Matt, and have you pass them along, and in fact to everybody at that part of what is now Halton and Frodsham Harriers. But yeah, a blast from the past for me there, and a big shout out to George Bunner. I have fond memories, along with Mrs. Briggs, who looked after my little cross-country team there from my first runs around Frodsham Harriers.
Fantastic. Apologies to go slightly tangent when you said about that board. Have you seen those videos of those Japanese runners inventing a new U-turn method of spinning and going?
Oh no.
It's really cool.
We'll have to find those and drop those in.
They always try and find ways to be more efficient, and it's like they sort of run, but then they kind of do a spin. You'd have to look at it, because I'm not going to do it justice, but then maybe they just need to get one of those boards on the corner of a switchback, and that'd be a better way of doing it. But anyway.
Brilliant.
Two very worthy honours board mentions.
And of course, given that this is now going to be dropping after New York City Marathon, let's add on to that everybody who ran there, and let's really hope that everybody who raced in New York, ran in New York, I hope it went well and smoothly for you, and that you came along and joined our shakeout.
Yes, and you're gonna you'll have to try and see if you can interview the winners.
Oh yeah, I'll try.
Yes. Right, this one comes in from Michael Toomey. Returned to running at 64, now running for country at masters level, which is fantastic. Enjoy the podcast, thank you. This is a long email, so apologies. I will try to paraphrase this a little bit, but in 2023, my daughter was training for London Marathon and asked if I wanted to go to run. I was 64 and decided to find a pair of trainers and join her for a 5k run. When I got home, I virtually collapsed on the sofa, where I stayed for pretty much the rest of the week. He used to run back in his 20s and basically did not run for 37 years.
Wow.
After running with his daughter, he tried to go for another run, and he lost 22 kilograms, going from 85 to 63 kg, and entered the Cardiff Half in October 23. He since then has caught a bit of a running bug, and he's learnt a lot about running, included a lot from our podcast. Very kind. He's learned things like consistency is the biggest driver. I also learned that it's important to run with others, which he recalled you, Paula, speaking once about arranging to run with others as it provides accountability, which is awesome, which I totally agree with. It's one of the big things, I think, to keep things fresh. And he also talked about the physio being on, which stressed the need to listen to whispers from the bodies for readings. I have regular sessions with the physio. I'd like to add, about 8 years ago, he had 2 arthroscopies.
Arthroscopies.
Thank you. I'm not frightened to say I have a bit of dyslexia, so apologies for butchering that word. On my right knee, and was due to have one on my left knee. The NHS physio, and I remember the discussion I had with her. She told me not to run, and I didn't then. I asked if I could go on long walks. She said gently. I asked if I could swim. She asked what stroke. I replied breaststroke. She said probably not. I then finished by asking her prognosis. She said it would take it easy until you need a knee replacement. I left the surgery somewhat despondent. My knee issue continued until I started running. Figure that one, which is a bit like Joe. There's a bit of Joni in there. And the physio at the cell at the moment is a sportsman and currently takes a different take. So fantastic. Apologies. This is a very long. I'm trying to. But his next big race is going to be Boston Marathon, the 20th of April, 2026. This would be precisely 40 years as my first and only London Marathon. I actually have a bib from London 1986 and be wearing it on my back at Boston, which is absolutely cool. I've been putting up some poorly made reels on his words, not mine. Some poorly made reels on Instagram, setting out my journey to Boston at Mike Runs Again. If anyone has absolutely nothing else to do, please tune in. Great podcast, but thank you, Mike. Fantastic. Apologies, I have paraphrased that a little bit. There is a lot there, lots of great stuff. Thank you so much.
And the main thing is that he's on the honours board because he has managed to get himself back running, and in fact the running has helped him get over those knee issues. So congratulations to you, Mike, and the very, very best of luck in Boston. And maybe those high five goodies will help get you through that. And if you do want some more high five goodies, we can give you a discount code, and that'll get you 25% off. Head to highfive.co.uk and put in the discount code Paula25, and that will get you that.